Today we're jumping back to November 1988, Amsterdam, the very first High Times Cannabis Cup.
And your mission, listening in, is really to trace how that one event kind of set the stage for, well, everything that followed in cannabis culture and quality.
Right, and you have to picture the world back then. I mean, the Netherlands had this tolerance policy since '76.
Yeah, but almost everywhere else.
Yeah.
Strict prohibition. It makes Amsterdam feel like this unique bubble where something like this could even be attempted.
Okay, so let's unpack the why. Why did this cup even happen? It's interesting the idea didn't actually start in Amsterdam.
No, it goes back to Northern California, really.
Yeah.
Think about those underground harvest festivals in the 70s.
Growers secretly comparing their stuff, taking huge risks. So there was already this need, this desire for recognition, for knowing who had the best.
Exactly. That need for recognition and just celebrating quality was already there, bubbling under the surface. Even with all the legal dangers, Amsterdam just provided the stage.
And it had to be Amsterdam, right? With what, over 100 coffee shops already operating by '88?
Precisely. The laws there, that tolerance, made it basically the only viable spot for a public competition. It just wouldn't have flown anywhere else.
So what did it actually look like, the first one? Because it wasn't some massive expo.
Oh, not at all. Forget big crowds. The judging was tiny. Super exclusive, actually.
It's just 3 people from High Times itself.
Yep. Stephen Hager, the editor, a grower known as Dr. Indoors, and a staff photographer. That was the entire jury. No public vote, nothing like that.
Wow. So they were just evaluating samples blind.
Unmarked samples, yeah.
Right.
And they focused on really core things, how it burned, the flavor, and crucially, the effect. Very direct, very focused on the actual experience.
And the winner, Cultivator's Choice, Skunk #1. That name still resonates.
It does. It's a big deal. A hybrid Colombian gold, Acapulco gold, Afghani genetics mixed together.
And the THC was around 15%. Seems kind of low now, maybe.
Well, yeah, compared to today's standards. But back then, 15% was seriously potent. It had this really pungent smell, sweet taste. It set a new bar for quality.
And wasn't there some story about how the sample arrived?
Huh? Yeah, the winning skunk supposedly showed up via motorcycle courier. Just adds to that sort of underground, slightly chaotic, legendary feel of the first cup.
But beyond the legend, that win really cemented what good cannabis was.
It did. And the criteria they used, aroma, flavor, potency, how the ash looked, the burn quality, even bag appeal.
How it looked in the bag.
Right. Those became the foundational standards. We still talk about these things today when evaluating cannabis quality. It all tracks back to this.
So how did word get out? How did it make an impact beyond that small room?
High Times magazine, of course. They covered it in their February '89 issue. Apparently, it boosted their readership by something like 20%.
That's significant. So it put Amsterdam firmly on the map as the cannabis capital.
Absolutely. Yeah. And crucially, it gave those underground growers, people who'd been operating in the shadows, a kind of international spotlight they'd never had before.
It feels like it wasn't just about winning then. It was about legitimacy.
Exactly. The '88 Cup proved cannabis could be judged, appreciated, like fine wine or coffee. It validated the whole idea of connoisseurship.
And that thinking, that framework, it directly influenced everything that came later, didn't it? Modern festivals, dispensary menus, awards.
All of it. Long before legalization swept across parts of the world, this event laid that groundwork.
So the real takeaway here is this first cup was pivotal, more than just a contest.
It established the very idea that cannabis quality could be defined and celebrated, setting standards still relevant now. It was kind of a declaration, really.
Which leaves you with this thought. Just consider how that one relatively small event in a quiet hotel room in Amsterdam.
How it fundamentally shifted the way the world started to think about and engage with cannabis. It's pretty amazing the ripple effect from that single point in time.